read something this morning. With so much with Phoenix's season coming to an end yesterday, the off season being here for more and more teams. The off season is going to be here, for a handful more teams coming up. And when you fall short, when you're a team like Phoenix and you fall short of championships, especially when you were in the finals not that long ago, when you make a big splashy trade like they did with Kevin Durant, you kind of see a domino effect, right? You start to, the DeAndre Ayton conversation leads to a Vucevic conversation, leads to a Chicago Bulls conversation. And I kind of just got into this rabbit hole of reading some stuff about the Chicago Bulls, about, this I think even came up as recently as yesterday. People asking about Zach LaVine, and what would you think if like Zach LaVine was available? Well, again, it's May 12th, so you take this for news on May 12th. But there's a belief in Chicago, they want to build around Zach LaVine. They're willing to move on from other people to build around Zach LaVine. And of course, that brings up the name DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, 1 year left on his deal. Easily tradable contract, high quality player. What could you get back for him? Could you get a draft pick? Could you get the things? Could you get a player that complements Zach LaVine? Could you find things to build around Zach LaVine if that's your guy a little bit more? So I'll ask you the obligatory question. DeMar DeRozan, any interest? 33 years old. Again, last year of his deal.
There is some interest because I like DeMar DeRozan, and I like he's a bucket. He's a certified bucket. I don't know about the style of play. Doesn't shoot the three ball a whole lot. And
he excels in the same exact areas that De'Aaron does.
Right.
In terms of on like a mid-range guy.
Right. So I'm gonna say no. But that's more so a style of play than the actual player. If they played a different style, I'd love to have DeMar DeRozan here.
Okay. Just throwing it out there because I like DeMar DeRozan a lot. I think I'm worried about any player on an expiring contract because we'll just keep going through the same thing over and over and again. You want to, and I understand you need like guys like that, and there's certain guys that you want to win over. Like if DeMar DeRozan came here and the team was successful, we can even go conference finals successful. Is DeMar like, yo, I love Sacramento, I'm gonna stay here. Like DeMar is 34 years old. He'll have the ability to sign wherever he wants to. Is he gonna pick Sacramento? I know he's a California dude, but last I checked, there are 2 teams in Los Angeles.
Right, but if they're not giving him an opportunity,
and that could be it.
Yeah. I think if DeMar came to Sacramento and they had a year like they had this year, or maybe they advance next year or something like that, I think you'd be able to keep him if you wanted him around.
But then again, too, and okay, great, but he's all at the time he'd be 34, and is he? What is he? Is he still contributing at a high level at 34? Is he a veteran presence at 34? So you're starting 3 at 34. Is Harrison gone? Like I feel like if we could have a lot of you could have this exact conversation with a number of different players, but in DeMar's case, I think about his age and his kind of the same thing. His age, his years ahead. I feel like this team is still in a position where you could probably. Maybe you hope to find one more guy who can grow with this group, like one more guy who can kind of step in. I know we use the example of Jay Will and Mike Bibby with Tyrese and Domas, but I think you're still looking for that one more guy to fit in and grow with the squad. DeMar feels like I don't want to call like a luxury player. Like, hey, if we can land DeMar, that would be great because we can land DeMar for a year. Maybe he's around for a year or 2. I think the next, like, if there's a move to be made, you want something more in the range of 3 years, 2 or 3 years, rather than 1. Maybe we could get 2 out of him.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I think obviously you'd go into that thinking that if it worked, you'd be able to re-sign him for a couple years or something like that. So I think if Monty or any of these guys decided to make that move, they'd be like, yeah, I'm pretty confident we can bring him back. We'd have a good inside track. So that is a concern though. The thing I was trying to look at
because it's a trade too. Like if the trade's right, like I don't care.
Rashawn.
That's the exact. I think Rashawn fits in Chicago. I want Rashawn to land in a good spot. Like I feel like Rashawn could work in Chicago.
Absolutely,
especially with Vucevic probably gone.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I don't know, man. DeMar might, especially when you talk about a trade, which means, let me see how much he makes. You still have money to work with. I don't know. The one thing I was looking at and I was trying to figure out, and it just doesn't match up, is what if DeMar got into that Harrison Barnes role, but Harrison, he shoots the 3-ball better, and he shoots the 3-ball more than DeMar DeRozan. So I don't think that would work.
28.6 next year.
It feels like, I mean, I don't know the 70-80% or whatever, but that seems like it would fit with Rashawn.
No, it's 28.6 next year.
The 1 year.
Yeah, you'd have to find. Yeah, you'd have to. There'd have to be something somewhere else.
That's a lot of money
to bring that number up.
Yeah. See, I was really thinking. I'm really trying to find a way to make it fit. I was trying to say maybe he could be play that Harrison role, but it doesn't match up.
I got you.
It doesn't match up.
I like just asking.
No, and I like DeMar. I like DeMar.
I do too.
So
I do too.
I think he'd be great for the
game. It's funny. It's just such a different conversation surrounding him this year because of the success of the team. Like the team was so successful. I mean, they overachieved ? The year prior, and this year kind of didn't. Right. And like the fringe. Like MVP conversations with DeMar DeRozan
in the first half of the season last year, absolutely.
Mid-range city all over the place. I think he dropped 40 like 4 times in a row or something ridiculous.
Crazy. He was going crazy.
This was just a year ago.
Now, a lot of that had to do, I think, with the injuries. Losing Lonzo, losing Caruso.
Absolutely.
I think Zach LaVine might have gotten hurt too during that time. So They there was a little luster off, and they had to deal with some injuries, and they got to the play-in. They got to that spot, and weren't able to bring it on home. But who'd they beat in that first game? They beat.
You talking about this year or last year?
They beat Toronto this year.
Oh,
because DeMar's daughter was
wilding.
Was distracting Toronto.
DeMar's daughter was wilding. Zach LaVine played 77 games this season.
I agree with that train of thought of people in Chicago. Like I didn't know he played that many games.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zach
24.8.
You put something around.
Calm down a little bit. It's 27 years old. Like, wait a minute. What the hell are we doing? Talking about trading for Zach LaVine.
Yeah, no, you that's damn near like saying let's trade for Devin Booker.
Yeah. Well, Devin Booker needed to trade his attitude.
Yeah, bad day for Book.
Yeah, not a good stretch here for Devin Booker at all.